Give the Niners offseason a grade so far.
I think at best, I think a D.
Yeah. At best a D, like a mercy D. Like, look, I don't want to give you the F because then when I have to be, by
I'll
rule,
I'm giving them the D because they upgraded that position where we thought they needed, corner. It's, so they
got you. Hey, Ward. They got Javarius Ward and Orrin Burks. They got Orrin Burks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Upgraded special teams, yeah.
No doubt. George Odom? I mean, no, I didn't know who he was before they signed him per se, but he was an all-pro special teamer, so that's on me.
Yeah.
D.
D
plus. No, it's really bad. I mean, you could give them like mercy points and stuff, but like the main objectives they had to do for the semester was, trade Jimmy, fail. Extend Debo, fail. Extend Bosa, no word. So, yeah, I mean, they can say they did other stuff that was good, but it's like the three big ones you haven't done. So we can give you a fail, and an incomplete and some bonus points along the way that'll bring you up from an F to an F+. Did you ever get an F+ in school? Can you give an F+? It's so backhanded, right? Like, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it was like top 5, bottom 5. F+. I'm gonna give him an F+. I think they get an F. I think Javarius Ward's a plus. It's been so bad. No, Brian Greasy. They got Brian. Excuse me. D-.
Brian Greasy.
I don't know. How could they salvage this? They trade Jimmy Garoppolo for 2 first-round picks. No, I don't. Are both Debo and Jimmy going to be on the team in training camp? Are the Niners going to be stubborn on both? Because that's how they do business.
I think that it'd be hilarious, right? You'd have a guy making $27 million. You'd have a guy making $27 million that you really don't want to be there. Then a guy that doesn't want to be there that wants $25 million.
Right. Well, sorry, we can't figure it out. It's too complicated for us. I think it would be great because again, it's the same exact situation. You have a player you want to trade or you need to trade. And you're not going to because you're waiting for too much in return. Nice. Until all of his value goes away and your team gets worse. You're doing it again because you didn't learn anything from the Jimmy situation. The Niners really think you just hold on forever. Doesn't matter. Just hold on.
And I think you could the reports are that they're asking for a king's ransom for Debo.
There you go. Just like that. They're asking for a king's ransom for Jimmy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. And they do it after basically telling the whole world like why they don't think they're that good. Oh, Debo, he's more of a running back and he drops the ball.
But if
2 first-round picks.
If I was Debo's agent and I would if I got wind that the 49ers were, let's just say, asking for 2 firsts, right, for me, for my client, I would turn around and say to the 49ers, so you're asking for 2 firsts. That was more than Devontae and Tyreek, who were the best receiver in the league. So you should pay my client as the best receiver in the league.
Exactly. So what's the deal here? Okay.
Debo's not on their level when they have to pay him, but when you have to trade for him, oh yeah, like 3 first-round picks.
But again, Debo is now making it seem like, look, he's like, I never wanted to play here. Something happened, but I don't want to be in this team. They never even made me an offer. Maybe the reason he doesn't want to play here is because they never made him an offer. But his thing is like, I don't want to play here. Don't make me an offer. I'm out. But that's pretty much what we know from his side right now, right? Why?
I kind of tend to believe that, right? Because with Jimmy Garoppolo on the roster, how could they really have made him an offer? Like, they couldn't have officially made him an offer because they can't pay it because Jimmy Garoppolo's on the team. So they really couldn't officially make him an offer.
Yeah.
I did read somewhere that supposedly the offer was 19 million.
Oh, nice. Like a big slap in the face. That's cool. I appreciate it.
They're like, oh, your number's 19. How about 19 million? How's that? So, 19 problems, 19 million. Like
terrible, man. One Fast Yami says, I think Debo is going to the Jaguars. Call me crazy, but Jaguars are reported wanting to trade up. They have the first pick, right? Maybe the Niners get the number 1 pick in the draft for Debo.
Like you can't get in here. You can't get in here earlier than that. Maybe they want Trey Lance. Like that's trade. Like
why so serious? 23 says Rams praying Debo leaves. Yeah, I would think so.
I mean, yeah, I think
it would be great news for them. Brian Bunny says, you seen the video allegedly of a phone conversation between Debo and AJ Brown, not Green. I didn't realize there's 2 different AJs with color last names. AJ Green, AJ Brown on the back end of a Pat McAfee vid with Rap Sheet originally from Twitter. Yeah, I saw it. They're talking about, it's more about Brown than Debo, though. Debo just says they never made me an offer, which is interesting. Ninth Wonder Comics says, I keep saying it, John and Kyle, horrible poker players, show their hands and act like they got the royal flush. Pretty much. I like that. That's a good analogy. David Velez says, of course, the offseason could get worse. Multiple players may not re-sign to avoid a rebuild. Parag could not get fired for his utter incompetence. I like that. That's a good point. That's a phenomenal point that you just made. Can I just say? All right, moving on. Hold on. There's another one. Little Lord Stewie says, what was Rice trade with the Raiders? Was it even? What picks are worth now? Like cost be cheap for players, but did draft? Dude, I was a long time ago, man.
Rice was also on the tail end of his career when that trade was made.
You got to look that up on Wikipedia, man. I'm sorry. JC says, who would you fire? Jimmy still here, Debo leaving, Kyle Shanahan the genius, John Lynch, Parag Marate. My answer is fire John Lynch, trade Kyle Shanahan for 4 firsts, promote D'Amico head coach, and Lynn OC. Now you're talking. I love it, man.
I think the problem
you're going to keep Parag, though? That's whack. Whack.
For me, I think the problem is it's like not the Debo situation in itself or the Jimmy Garoppolo. It's that it seems like they're botching 2 things. They don't seem to have by not being able to do. They're not reading the tea leaves of the league properly, and they're not being decisive with their moves. Like if you felt like if what they seem to feel like, okay. Debo Samuel value to us is at a running back and at a wide receiver. We can't pay him $30-25 million a year because we feel like that's gonna because if he's playing running back, he's gonna get hurt and all that. Then and you know what he's gonna ask for because that's where the league is trending, right? As soon as those contracts came up, then make a decisive move, trade him.
Agree. HR says Niners like Cowboys and Lakers are rudderless organizations who survive off legacy and brand, not competent front offices ownership. Yeah, kind of like the Yankees too. Yeah, it's pretty sad. That's why I'm always like outraged and stuff, and I'm trying to like be hard on the Niners, and fans are like, "Why are you so mean on them all the time?" Because of this. Don't you see what they're doing? They're just living off the legacy of the past generation and printing money. Because the fans are so faithful. Never-ending faith.